So आज we want to study the different types of Doppler effect, like in under what circumstances we can have Doppler effect, what it is, and what are the main formulas that we should know. Can you also hear this disturbance? It's bugging me.
No, ma'am. The voice is clear.
Okay, then I don't know what is wrong with my earphones. I'm constantly hearing a static. Okay. So if you can hear it clearly, then there is no problem. Okay. So आज हम कर रहे हैं Doppler effect. Okay. So what is Doppler effect? So whenever we have a source which is emitting some kind of a sound wave at a given wavelength and frequency, let us say, and now if either I start moving the source or I start moving the observer, which is observing this sound wave which is coming towards him, or I start changing the medium, right? I somehow make the medium move in which the wave is moving. So if by any of these means, that either by moving the source which is producing the wave, or by moving the observer who is looking at the wave, who is observing the wave, or by moving the medium in which the sound wave is moving. So if I will change, or if I will make any of these three things move, or all of these three things move simultaneously, so what I'll see is that whatever frequency of the sound wave that I will observe, okay, so that frequency of the sound wave will actually change, and it will change depending on what type of motion is taking place. So if the source is moving towards the observer will notice a frequency which is greater than the frequency of the actual source. Okay, so we will solve it one by one so you will understand it more better. But whenever there is a some kind of a relative motion between your source and your observer, or due to the motion of the propagating medium, so you see that there is some kind of frequency changes which the observer notices. Okay, so frequency change observer के point of view से हम कह रहे हैं, ठीक है. So observer will always see that due to this combined resultant motion, there are some frequency changes which are happening, and this whole phenomena that the observer will notice different frequency depending on the relative motion is known as Doppler effect. Okay, so today we will see that what are these different cases and how the frequency is going to change. So let us quickly write the definition. So this is a motion related frequency changes in the wave. Okay, so this would happen. So we will observe uh, observe Doppler effect if the source the source which is producing the sound wave, so the source is moving, okay, और my detector या फिर observer मैं कुछ भी बोलूं is moving, या फिर the medium in which the sound wave is propagating, so the propagating medium is moving. So what do I mean by propagating medium is moving? For example, if you will consider like a blood capillary in your body, and if I send some kind of a ultrasound pulse through the blood capillary, so the blood, which is now the liquid medium through which the sound wave will travel. So अब ये हो सकता है that the wave which I have launched might travel in a direction of blood flow, or it might travel in a direction opposite to the direction of blood flow. Okay, so that is what I mean by the propagating medium is moving. Okay, so in all these cases, in all of these situations, I will observe a Doppler effect. So I can have both source and detector moving. I can have both detector and propagating medium moving, or I can have all of these three things happening together. That the medium is also moving, source is also moving, detector is also moving, and in which direction they are moving, that will basically decide that what kind of frequency you would observe. So frequency either is going to increase, you will increase a frequency which is more than the actual frequency that is being emitted by the source, or you will observe a frequency which is less than the actual frequency emitted by the source. Okay, so we will consider all these cases. So let us start with the case number 1. Okay, so now the first case, what we are saying is that the source is stationary, and this Doppler effect section, I have made my notes from Resnick Halliday. So I thought that this topic was described quite nicely in that book. So if you want to read further, or if something what I've told is not clear, so my notes are directly from Resnick Halliday, so you can refer that book. Okay. So first case is that the source is stationary and the detector is moving. Okay, so now my detector can move in two directions. Either my detector can move towards the source, or the detector can move away from the source. Okay, so then case 1 also has two sub cases. So let us take the first case, that the detector is moves, no पहले कुछ basic चीज़ें लिख लेते हैं. So जो मेरा source है, I am saying that it is emitting sound waves. So it is emitting sound waves at frequency nu, wavelength lambda, and which are traveling in the medium. Currently abhi I'm not discussing the medium. Okay, so the medium is stationary, only my detector is moving in this case. So and the velocity of my sound wave is given by capital V. Okay, so this is given to me, and now my detector, so let me say that I'm going to denote source by S, and I'm going to denote detector by D. Okay. So detector, what frequency my detector observes is the apparent frequency, because that is something which feels like that is the frequency, but in reality the frequency is new. Okay, so usually the term that is used is the apparent frequency. So what is the apparent frequency? The frequency that is observed by my detector or my observer. So apparent frequency is the frequency observed by detector. So I'm saying that this is some new dash, okay, some different frequency my detector is observing. So if I now let us do case number, not case number 1, case number 1 ka A part. So detector moves in the direction of sound. So what I'm saying is that the detector is moving away from the source. Okay, how is that? So if I have a source here and it is, sending out these wave fronts, and the wave fronts are moving in this direction. So if I'm saying that they are moving in the x direction with the velocity v, so I have a detector over here. Now I'm saying that the detector moves in the direction of sound. So if the detector has a velocity which is equal to vd, so the direction of the velocity of the detector is same as the direction of the velocity of the sound. Okay, so this is equivalent to the case that the detector is डिटेक्टर नो नॉट पहले ये वाला नहीं करते, ये वाला कर लेते हैं ऑपोजिट, क्योंकि फिर वो इजी है. ऑपोजिट ये वाला कर लेते हैं, opposite to the direction of the sound. So that means my detector is moving towards this. ऐसे दोनों ही एक ही principle है, but anyway. So what I'm saying is that the detector is moving opposite to the direction of sound, which means that the detector is moving towards the source. Okay, so these two means the same thing, that the detector is moving towards source S. Okay, so now I want to find out that what is the frequency that the detector is going to observe. Okay, so agar if I consider some time t, okay, so let us consider at some time t, and let me pick one of these wave fronts. So what I've drawn here are different wave fronts corresponding to the sound wave. So let me pick, so the distance between them is lambda. Okay, so let me pick one of the wave fronts. So let me pick this one, and let me just observe this wave front. Okay, so now I know that at some time t, जो ये wave front है number 1 से जो मैंने denote किया है, this would move in space by how much amount? It will move by a distance equal to velocity multiplied by time, right? So my wave front 1 moves in space by velocity multiplied by time by this much amount, right? And now if I look at the detector, so if this was the first, the initial point of detector, okay, this is the first position of the detector, तो मेरा detector भी is moving towards the source, so my detector is also going to move. So I can say that the distance moved by detector is going to be equal to the velocity of the detector multiplied by this time t, right? So basically what I'm saying is कि किसी एक time t पर जो मेरा wave front 1 था वो कुछ यहाँ पे आ गया, और जो मेरा डिटेक्टर था वो कुछ यहाँ से शिफ्ट होके यहाँ पे आ गया, राइट? So now what is the relative motion of the wavefront 1 with respect to the detector? So now it has come to this position, some 1 dash position, okay, after some time t. So now I can write that what is the relative distance that my wavefront has covered. So the wavefront तो खुद से vt चला, but detector भी खुद उसकी तरफ चल के आ गया है ना, detector इतना distance move होके आ गया. So this distance which the detector moved was equal to vdt, and this distance which the wavefront moved was equal to vt. So I can write that the relative distance moved by wavefront with respect to detector is going to be equal to vt plus vd, because distance तो उतना कम हो गया दोनों के बीच में, है ना? So this is, I can say that this is the distance that has been moved. So now I can calculate that how many this distance corresponds to how many wavelengths. ठीक है? So I know कि ये जो distance है, then let me calculate the number of wavelengths जो कि मैंने इस time t में travel कर लिया. ठीक है? So I can calculate the number of wavelengths impinging on detector. So why I'm saying impinging on detector, because मैंने तो यहाँ पे 3 wave fronts दिखाए हैं, but in real physical life I have like the wave fronts are already reaching detector D at all the times, right? Because it's a continuous source. So एक बार once I have turned on the source, and if I let a sufficient time pass by so that now the whole space is permeated with the sound waves, and then I start doing this, so I know that wave fronts are already crossing my detector D, but I am just for the calculation sake मैंने कोई एक wave front pick कर लिया, and I am trying to figure out that how much distance this wave front has traveled, but the whole space is anyway permeated with lots of wave fronts which are going on because source बहुत पहले से on था. So I know that the wave has anyway reached my detector D, and after that I am doing the analysis. Okay, so now I know कि there are a lot of waves which are anyway going. So I want to find out that how many waves, इतना distance क्योंकि हमने travel कर लिया in time t, so इस time t में actually में कितने wave fronts D को already cross करके चले गए हैं. ठीक है, so I can write this equal to n. So this is the total distance vt plus vd divided by lambda, right? So this will tell me that how many wavelengths I have already passed. Okay, so now I want to find out the apparent frequency, which is the frequency which is observed. What is this? This is the frequency observed by the detector D. Okay, so this is nu dash. So ये कितना होगा? Nu dash is going to be equal to what? जो फ्रीक्वेंसी होता है उसको आई कैन राइट, देखो अगर साइड में देखते हैं, अगर मुझे वेलोसिटी दिया है, वेलोसिटी इज इक्वल टू सम डिस्टेंस डिवाइडेड बाय टाइम, and I can write the distance as n lambda, that in terms of lambda if I write, divided by t. Okay, so if I divide both sides by lambda, so what is this? This is nu, or the frequency is equal to n by t. So n is the number of wave fronts that have crossed in some time t. Okay, so then I can write the nu dash is equal to this number n divided by the time t. Fine. So let us put these values. So n is equal to nu dash is equal to vt plus vdt divided by lambda, and this whole thing divided by t, right? So this is v plus vd divided by lambda. So I can substitute lambda by velocity by the frequency. So let me put that. So I'll get v plus vd divided by lambda को मैंने substitute कर दिया velocity and v by nu से. So this is the formula that I got. So if my detector is moving towards the source, so what is happening is, जो अब यहाँ if I look at this formula, so I can see that the numerator is actually bigger than the denominator. So whatever this term is something greater than 1. So I can say that nu dash is going to be greater than nu, or the apparent frequency, the frequency which the detector is going to observe, will appear to be greater than the actual frequency of the sound wave. Okay, so this is the first case when the detector is moving. Either the question can say that the detector is moving opposite to the direction of sound, okay, or the question can say that the detector is moving towards the source. Both mean the same thing. Okay, so that should be clear, because sometimes the question can be framed in both ways. So this is my first formula then that I should know. So let us do the second case also, so in which my detector is moving in the direction of sound. Okay, so let us do that case. So the second is that the detector is moving in the direction of sound, which means that the detector is moving away from the source. Okay, so this distinction should be clear to you, because sometimes when you are in a hurry, you don't read the question correctly and you see that detector is moving in the direction. So, matlab ho gaya wahin pe. If you will, this should be clear that what it means. If it's moving in the direction of sound, that means it's going away from the source. So again, I have a source here and I have all these wavefronts. Okay, so the wavefronts are moving in this direction, let us say, with some velocity v, and I have a detector d, but now the velocity of the detector is in the direction of the sound. So I have this vd, so that means the detector is going away from the source. So similarly, अब if I do the same analysis जैसे पहले किया था, तो अभी फिर से जो मेरा wavefront है, that has moved in the space by distance vt only, and the detector has also moved a distance vdt only, but now the relative distance between them has changed in a different way. So agar ye 1 tha first wavefront, so let us say it has come here to some 1 dash, or detector agar idhar tha, तो it has now come here to some d dash location. Okay, after some time t. सो पहले क्या हो रहा था, डिस्टेंस उनके बीच में ऐड हो रहा था, अब क्या हो रहा है, रिलेटिव डिस्टेंस जो है वो सॉर्ट ऑफ बढ़ रहा है ना. सो नाउ फॉर दिस केस आई कैन राइट दैट द रिलेटिव डिस्टेंस traveled या traveled by wavefronts with respect to detector D is going to be equal to what? Is going to be equal to Vt minus Vdt, because उतना detector आगे चला गया, तो it's going to take the wavefront even much more time to reach the detector D. पहले वो जल्दी पहुंच रहे थे, now they will take more time because detector is going away, वो भागे जा रहा है. तुम किसी को पकड़ने की कोशिश करो, but the person instead of running towards you starts running away from you, so it will take you more time to catch that person. But in the first case you were running and the person is also running towards you, so you will meet much more quicker, right? It's like that. So the sound wave is trying to catch the detector, but the detector is running away. So then I can by using the same जो अभी ऊपर हमने पूरा analysis किया है, I can do the same analysis and I can simply write that the apparent frequency nu dash in this case is going to be v minus vd divided by v and nu. So nu dash is actually less than nu, because now the numerator is something which is less than the denominator. So this value is going to be something less than 1. Okay, so then I can say that if the detector is going away from the source, so I'm going to hear a frequency which is less than the actual frequency. Okay, so I can combine these two formulas. So this is my formula number 2. So I can combine the formula 1 and 2, and I can write this formula for the case 1, जो हम case 1 study कर रहे हैं, corresponding to a stationary source but a moving detector. Then I can write that nu dash is equal to V plus minus Vd by V and nu. So depending on, let me say this is formula number 3. So now depending on in which direction the detector is going, so ये तुमको याद करना पड़ेगा कि किस direction में detector जा रहा है, किस में नहीं, किस में plus sign आएगा, किस में minus sign आएगा. But this is how I can write the general formula. Okay, so now let us do case number 2. एक्चुअली डॉपलर पे क्वेश्चंस आते हैं और बहुत स्ट्रेट फॉरवर्ड क्वेश्चंस होते हैं, तो ये फॉर्मूलाज आई मीन इट वुड हेल्प यू इफ़ यू कैन रिमेंबर दीज फॉर्मूलाज एंड अंडरस्टैंड कि बेसिकली हो क्या रहा है. ठीक है, सो केस 2 कंसिडर करते हैं. तो दिस इज द केस इन विच the detector is stationary. Please mute yourself. Detector is stationary and the source is moving. Yes,
मैम पेज को थोड़ा ऊपर उठाइए.
एक second.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, so this is the formula from equation 1 and 2. I've just combined. Okay, so this is the formula that you can remember for this case. Okay, so now I am doing case number 2. So my detector is now stationary and the source is moving. So now here what will happen is, we'll try to understand it. Just let me write this first. That the motion of source will change the wavelength of sound waves that is being emitted. Therefore, the frequency at the detector will change. Okay, so let us try to understand what I have written. So now what I'm saying is, if I consider this case that I have a source here, okay, and now this is a point source, okay. So what is ये क्या emit करेगा? पहले वाले केस में भी point source था, but if I consider that I'm sufficiently far, so I can treat that कि spherical wavefront की बजाय I'm just looking at a planar section, ठीक है? That I'm sufficiently far, my detector is quite far. But in reality, if I take a point source, so I'm going to get some kind of a spherical wavefront out of this point source. So let us say that at if my source is stationary, तो क्या होने वाला है? This is going to emit some one. एक तो मेरे को ना सर्कल ड्रॉ करने में दिक्कत है. Let me use shapes. Okay, so let us say that my source is sending out one wavefront. So this is some wavefront. So this is some wavefront I'm calling the first wavefront. ठीक है, तो अब क्या होगा? आफ्टर वन टाइम पीरियड ये सोर्स एक और वेवफ्रंट रिलीज करेगा, बिकॉज वेवफ्रंट्स क्या होते हैं? दे आर सेपरेटेड इन स्पेस by a distance of lambda, and in time if you think they are separated by the time period, right? That is how the wavefronts are defined कि एक time period के बाद your phase is going to, मतलब you will get again the same value of the phase, right? So wavefront is a collection of points with the same value of the phase. So मेरे point source ने एक spherical wavefront स्पेस में मतलब एमिट कर दिया है. सो अब क्या होगा? ये स्फेरिकल वेव फ्रंट साइज में इंक्रीज होता रहेगा एंड इट विल कीप ऑन प्रोपगेटिंग इन द स्पेस लाइक दैट. सो आफ्टर वन टाइम पीरियड what is going to happen is that my source is going to emit second wave front. So let us say that my source emits some second wave front, something like this. Okay, so this is my wavefront 2. So इस तरह से if my source is stationary, तो वो जितने भी wavefronts release करेगा, तो these wavefronts will keep on expanding with time. That is true, वो travel करते रहेंगे space में. But the distance between each wavefront, so if I want to check what is this distance between them, this distance is always going to be equal to lambda. Either I check like this or I check in the x direction, okay? Either along y or x if I check. So I know that they are separated in space by a distance of lambda. That is what we all know, okay? But if let us consider the case where my source is not stationary. So what is going to happen? So if I take that case कि मेरे पास यहाँ पे मेरा source है and this is the first location of the source. So at this point my source emits this wavefront. ठीक है, let us say कि इसने ये wavefront emit किया. उसके बाद क्या हुआ, in time t, अब ये जो मेरा source है but it is not stationary, so this is s1. क्या है, s1 is the first position at some time t is equal to 0. मेरा source यहाँ पर है, but now my source is actually traveling with some source का कुछ velocity है which is equal to vs, let us say, and it is in the plus x direction. So it is traveling with vs velocity along the along the positive x-axis. Okay, so अब क्या होगा, in some time t, so अगर मैं t को consider करूँ which is equal to the time period, so my source would move the distance, यहाँ पे मुझे वैसे लिखना नहीं चाहिए, so source would move a distance equal to vst, right, in the time period t. So basically क्या होगा, मेरा source यहाँ से move होके कुछ यहाँ पे आ गया है, some s2 position पे it has come. So यहाँ पे this distance which it has traveled is actually equal to vst. ठीक है, तो अब वो इस distance पर आकर my source is going to emit another wavefront. ठीक है, so अब जो ये मेरा first wavefront है, इसको मैंने bigger circle इसलिए draw करा है because ये तो टाइम के साथ और एक्सपैंड हो जाएगा ना, तो अब जो मेरा सेकेंड वेव फ्रंट है वो तो साइज में वैसे छोटा ही होगा बिकॉज वो जस्ट अभी एमिट हुआ है. ठीक है, सो नाउ इफ आई कंसिडर माय सेकेंड वेव फ्रंट, कॉपी पेस्ट, सो अब वो यहाँ पे एमिट होगा. ठीक है, बिकॉज सोर्स से तो इक्वल रेडियस पे ही होगा ना, तो सोर्स के अराउंड सेंटर्ड होगा ये सेकेंड वेव फ्रंट. सो दिस इज माई वेव फ्रंट 1 and now this is my wavefront 2. So if I consider, if I am standing over here and I am looking at, you know, how the waves are coming towards me, so I will see कि अब ये जो waves के बीच में जो ये distance था, ये कुछ lambda 1 dash हो गया है, which appears to be smaller compared to the original lambda. Original case ये था towards the left hand side. So this is the original case when the source was stationary and lambda wavelength से it was emitting wavefronts at a distance of lambda, separated from each other by lambda distance. But because now my source is also moving, so if I am standing on the right hand side, मतलब towards जिस direction में source move हो रहा है, so if the source is moving towards me, then I'll see कि ये distance तो कम हो गया compared to the previous original lambda. But if I am standing here on this side, that is the source is going away from me, then I will see कि ये वाला जो distance है between the two wavefronts, which is lambda 2 dash, ये तो बढ़ गया. So basically I'm going to observe different wavelengths depending on how the source is moving with respect to me. If the source is going away from me, so I will see कि एक wavefront के बाद दूसरा wavefront ज़्यादा distance के बाद आ रहा है. So they are separated in space by a larger amount, some lambda 2. Okay, lambda 2 dash कुछ larger, मुझे कुछ अलग एक apparent wavelength दिख रहा है. But if the source is coming towards me, so then I'll see कि they are coming at a much lesser distance. Okay, so like that, if the source is moving, we try to understand the Doppler effect by talking in terms of change in wavelength. Okay, and when the source is stationary and the detector is moving towards the source, then we talk about in terms of change in frequency. वहाँ पर directly frequency के term में हम consider करते हैं, because उसमें क्या होता है, the number of wavefronts which are crossing you, वो इंक्रीज होता है, ठीक है. बट व्हेन द डिटेक्टर इज स्टेशनरी बट द सोर्स इज मूविंग, तो व्हाट हैपेंस इज ड्यू टू द मूवमेंट ऑफ द सोर्स, वेवलेंथ जो ऑब्जर्व होता है वो डिफरेंट हो जाता है, एंड बिकॉज ऑफ दैट वी सी अ चेंज इन फ्रीक्वेंसी. सो दिस इज हाउ the two processes are explained physically in a slightly different manner, but ultimately both of them will lead to a change in the frequency that is being observed. Okay, so now we can with this understanding, and this is going to be, I can draw even much more wavefronts, and you can actually if I have that figure, I'll just put it here. This is explained very nicely in Resnick Halliday, so um, you can read from there. No, I don't have. Where did it go? Okay, I didn't copy. Sorry. I don't have that figure with me, but it's the same figure. You will find it in Resnick Halliday, or I'll attach it with the document when I'll share. So there a lot of wavefronts like this are drawn. So I've only drawn 2 wavefronts, but there are multiple wavefronts like this are drawn, and you can very clearly see that when the source is moving towards you, you will observe a wavelength which is less than the original value, and when the source is moving away from you, you will observe a wavelength which is greater than the original lambda. Okay, so now let us use this and try to find out the formula for the frequency, that what frequency we will get. So if I consider this is case 2, so let me consider iska A part, that which is this part. क्या लिखा है मैंने ये? Okay, so the source moves towards the detector. ठीक है, so detector is here, let us say. ये मैं नहीं हूँ, ये डिटेक्टर है यहाँ पे, एंड यहाँ पर भी कुछ डिटेक्टर हो सकता है. सो द फर्स्ट, दिस इज द ए केस एंड दिस इज गोइंग टू बी द बी केस. सो ए केस है वेयर द सोर्स इज मूविंग टूवर्ड्स द डिटेक्टर. ओके, सो देन आई कैन राइट द apparent wavelength. apparent wavelength क्या होगा? The wavelength which is being observed by the detector. डिटेक्टर को क्या wavelength दिख रहा है, ठीक है. So I am saying that this is some lambda 1 dash. So what is not this, the this यही हो गया. So then this is going to be equal to, पहले lambda क्या था? We had V is equal to lambda by lambda nu होता है ना, तो nu is equal to 1 by t. So this was equal to velocity first, right? So lambda was equal to vt originally. So here in the first case, first figure, lambda is simply equal to vt. But now my apparent wavelength, the wavelength जो d देख रहा है वो change हो गई है. तो original जो थी वो तो vt थी, but now it is vt minus vst, क्योंकि इतना डिस्टेंस ऑलरेडी मेरा सोर्स ने चल लिया. सो बाय दिस मच अमाउंट द lambda 1 dash has reduced. Okay, so then I can write the frequency or the apparent frequency. So I can write nu dash is going to be equal to the velocity of sound divided by this lambda 1 dash, right? So that is v minus vs 1 by t, and t क्या है यहाँ पे? t हमने टाइम पीरियड लिया है, so 1 by t is simply equal to nu. So nu dash is equal to v minus vs nu. Okay, so then this is my formula number 4. And similarly, I can consider the case number B, that the source moves away from the detector. So then what is the frequency that, not the frequency, the wavelength, the apparent wavelength क्या ऑब्जर्व करेगा lambda 2 dash. So lambda 2 dash क्या है is this. So I'm going to see that they are separated more in space. So अब क्या हो रहा है, lambda तो already मतलब wave fronts के बीच में distance था ही, उसके अलावा extra distance आ गया है which is VST. ठीक है. So एक सेकेंड, यहाँ पर एक और चीज़ डिस्कस करना था या बाद में कर लेते हैं. So this is going to be equal to VT plus PST, राइट, बिकॉज सोर्स और आगे चला गया तो नेक्स्ट जो वेव फ्रंट था वो थोड़ा और एक्स्ट्रा उसको डिस्टेंस चल के आना पड़ेगा, है ना. सो दिस apparent wavelength has increased by this. So then I can write the apparent frequency, that is nu dash is V divided by lambda 2 dash. So that is V plus Vs 1 by T. So that is nu dash is equal to V plus Vs nu, right? So this is my formula number 5. So if I look at formula number 3, so I can see कि अब जो denominator है, it is less than the numerator. So again here I will see that nu dash is greater than nu, right? So I will hear a frequency which is greater than the actual frequency. So अगर एक कार मेरी तरफ आ रही है and I'm just standing, so I will hear a higher pitch of the car जो कि उस वीडियो में था actually. So you please listen to that later when you have time. And if I see equation number 5, तो यहाँ से I'll see that because the denominator is bigger than the numerator, so whatever this ratio is it is less than 1. So I have nu dash which is less than nu. So I will hear a pitch which is less than the actual pitch, or I'll hear a frequency which is less than the actual frequency. So then I can combine these two and I can write the formula that nu dash is equal to V divided by V plus minus Vs nu. So this I'll have to remember कि कब plus आएगा formula में, कब minus आएगा. There is no shortcut per se like that. So now I can sort of consider a general case. So general case क्या होगा, जिसमें मेरा source भी move कर रहा है, detector भी move कर रहा है, ठीक है. So then for a general case, I will write that nu dash. So I will use equation number 3 and 6. Okay, I will use those two formulas and I can write a general formula that this is V plus minus Vd divided by V plus minus Vs and nu. So अगर क्वेश्चन में दोनों मूव कर रहे हैं, सोर्स भी मूव कर रहा है, डिटेक्टर भी मूव कर रहा है, तो आई हैव टू फिगर आउट कि कौन मोशन कहाँ हो रहा है, सोर्स किस तरफ जा रहा है with respect to detector, detector किस तरफ जा रहा है, what are the direction of their velocities, and like that I will pick either plus or minus sign in numerator and in denominator. ठीक है. So वो एक slightly थोड़ा मुझे ध्यान देना पड़ेगा when I have to sort of put the signs. Okay, so now we can consider the case number 3. So what is case 3? Case 3 में we will add one more layer of complexity, that now the propagation medium is also moving. Okay, so now case 3 is that I have the source, I have the observer and the medium, all are moving. ठीक है. So अब क्या होगा, if so let us make a point here that if the medium which is carrying the sound wave moves with velocity vm. ठीक है, मीडियम का velocity vm है with respect to some inertial frame of reference. Okay, so medium का velocity vm है with respect to some inertial frame of reference, and this medium is actually moving in the direction of sound. Okay, so if the medium which is carrying the sound wave moves with velocity vm in the direction of sound, सो मीडियम भी उसी डायरेक्शन में जा रहा है जिस डायरेक्शन में साउंड जा रहा है. ठीक है, सो देन आई कैन से दैट व्हाट इज द अपरेंट स्पीड ऑफ साउंड. सो मेरा v डैश क्या हो जाएगा, बेसिकली अब स्पीड चेंज हो गया ना साउंड का, तो v डैश इज गोइंग टू बी इक्वल टू द वेलोसिटी ऑफ द साउंड जो ओरिजिनल था when the medium was stationary plus the velocity with which the medium is moving, right? And similarly, if the medium is moving in a direction opposite to the direction of sound, मतलब जो मैंने एग्जाम्पल दिया था कि ब्लड में आई हैव सेंड सम काइंड ऑफ अल्ट्रासाउंड वेव, सो अगर ब्लड इधर जा रहा है वेव भी इधर जा रही है तो साउंड थोड़ा जल्दी ट्रैवल करेगा बिकॉज उसका वेलोसिटी सॉर्ट ऑफ relatively, if I consider, so it has increased because the medium is also moving. But if blood is going in this way and the sound is going in this way, so in a relative sense the velocity has reduced. Okay, so I can write the second case that if the medium moves opposite to direction so then the apparent speed of sound, this v dash is going to be equal to v minus vm. Okay, so now we can club everything together and write the most general formula. So equation number 7 से अब मुझे क्या करना है, basically equation number 7 में I have to change the capital V which was denoting the speed of sound with this new apparent speed of sound, and I will get the most general case in which कोई किसी भी तरह का problem I can then handle. Okay, so let us replace V by V dash in equation number 7. So then I will have V dash is equal to, अब मैं V dash को क्या लिख सकती हूँ, बेसिकली मेरे पास V dash is equal to V plus minus Vm है depending on in which direction the medium is moving. So let me just replace V dash by this. So I will have plus minus Vm और क्या था plus minus Vd divided by V plus minus Vm plus minus Vs by nu. Okay, so now let us just write this formula for this case. So let us consider a case. So let us say that the observer, medium and the detector all are moving in same direction. So then how can I use the formula and what will be the nu dash? Try to write it yourself. So this is 8 equation. So what I'll get is that nu dash, because medium is moving in the direction observer detect, दो बार लिख दिया, observer, medium and source. ठीक है, तो the source and the medium both are moving in the same direction. So मुझे पता है कि v plus vm तो होगा ही, तो I know it's going to be v plus vm in both denominator and numerator. This I know. अब क्या है, my detector, observer या detector कुछ भी बोलो, is also moving in the direction of the source. So what this means is that the detector is moving away from the source, right? Think of it like this, that I have a source here, then I have a detector here. They are all moving in the same direction. So this is moving like this with a VD speed. This is moving like this with a VS speed. So source is moving towards the detector, but the detector is moving away from the source, okay? So what happens when the detector is moving away from the source? I get a minus sign. And what happens when the source is moving towards the detector? I again get a minus sign. So then this is the formula which I'll have to use to find out the frequency nu dash. Okay, I have something in the chat. Pranav, what is it that you have sent me?
I'm the one which you were talking about in this, that spherical wave.
Acha, okay. Actually, it's asking me to download it. Okay, but if you found it, so it's good. I'll attach that figure when I will sort of share this document, okay? So I have half an hour, so I can cover all the rest of the cases, okay? So now, अभी तक हमने क्या consider किया? We were considering the velocities of the source and the detector, which were sort of in the same मतलब same x-axis पर ही motion था, ठीक है? I can also do the same analysis when they are in the y-axis. Basically, everything remains same. But what happens if they are not moving like that, but they are moving at an angle? कि let us say source तो ऐसे जा रहा है along x, but detector is moving at some angle. उसका velocity is at some angle with respect to the source, okay? So if I have this kind of a case that the source or the detector are moving with respect to each other at some angle, then how will I solve this question, okay? So कितने cases कर लिया हमने? Case 3 कर लिया. So this is case number 4. ठीक है. So अभी we are dealing with, अब हमें ये तो पता चल गया कि प्रोपगेशन मीडियम को तो कैसे इन्वॉल्व करना है ना, दैट वो तो चाहे अब जो मैं केस कंसिडर कर रही हूँ उसमें आई एम नॉट गोइंग टू कंसिडर कि हाउ द प्रोपगेशन मीडियम का इफेक्ट क्या है. दैट इज सिंपली इट विल ओनली चेंज द apparent speed of the sound. तो डिपेंडिंग ऑन कि कहाँ किस डायरेक्शन में माई प्रोपगेशन मीडियम इज गोइंग, आई ईदर गेट v plus vm or I'll get v minus vm, that's it, okay? तो अभी जो केस कर रहे हैं हम उसमें आई एम नॉट गोइंग टू डेलिबरेटली कंसिडर द मीडियम, बट if you have to consider that in a question, so I've already told you how to do that. Just change substitute your the velocity by v plus minus vm depending on how the medium is going, okay? So let us do the fourth case, that the source or detector.
मैम
Yes.
मैम वो v माइनस वी एम होना चाहिए ना एग्जाम्पल में.
V minus VMQ. The medium is also moving in this direction, no? So medium is going to assist the sound wave. Medium is not going in the opposite direction.
अच्छा समझा मैम.
है ना? तो ठीक है. So source or detector are moving at an angle. This is the case number 4th that we are considering. So इसमें भी फिर we have to consider by step we'll have to consider. So let us take the first case. So I have a stationary source. No, I have a stationary detector first. So I have a stationary detector which is not in the line of sight, with the moving source. Okay, this is the first case that I want to study. So let us see what we are going to get. So what I'm saying is that I have a source which is, let us say, somewhere here. So I have this source here. and the source has some velocity vs. So I'm assuming that the source is moving in this direction with some velocity vs. Okay, so I'm saying this is the first position of the source, and I have detector somewhere here. Okay, so my source is detector kahin aur hai, and my source is moving like this, so they are not in the line of sight. Detector is not in the line of sight of this moving source. So now I want to find out ki, what is going to be the frequencies that the detector is going to observe. So what I'll do is I'll first try to find out, let me join the detector and the source. Okay, GPS यहाँ नहीं लिखना चाहिए मुझे. So it is moving with some velocity vs. So when I do that, I can find out some angle theta 1, let us say. So this is the angle which this line is making with respect to the velocity or the direction in which my source is going. Okay, so this is some theta 1. So then I can write the component of the velocity of the source in the direction of the detector. So what is this component going to be? This is going to be Vs cos of theta 1, right? So अब जो मेरा detector है, it is not going to मतलब उसमें जो भी sound waves आ रहा है, ठीक है? So my detector is going to feel as if the sound waves that are coming towards it are coming with, मतलब basically the detector को लगेगा कि source उसकी तरफ आ रहा है with the velocity Vs cos of theta 1. Okay, so my detector is going to, so what case we have right now? Right now we have the case, so let us write it because there are going to be three things here. So when the source is at 1, okay, position location 1 पर अगर जब मेरा source है, तो जो मेरा detector है will detector, what is the correct word? The detector will not feel, feel ही लिख देते हैं, हाँ?
Detect.
No, detector will detect. No, but I wanted to use another word. So what I want to say is
Okay.
that the detector will feel that the source is coming towards it with speed, या फिर इसको हम v dash लिख लेते हैं, some vs cos of theta 1, ओके, या फिर कुछ और नाम दे देते हैं, v1 लिख देते हैं बिकॉज v dash हमने कुछ और बोला था, ठीक है? सो डिटेक्टर को लगेगा दैट द सोर्स इज कमिंग टूवर्ड्स इट विद दिस वेलोसिटी. सो देन, या फिर मैंने इसको vs ही लिखा है, vs dash, ठीक है? सो देन माई डिटेक्टर विल फील, क्या फ्रिक्वेंसी लगेगा मेरे डिटेक्टर को? लगेगा कि आई हैव v, v is the velocity of sound, and this is basically I will replace vs, which was the velocity of the source, by vs dash. Okay, so this is vs dash and nu. This is the frequency my detector is going to observe. v minus vs cos of theta 1 nu. So my detector will feel, अब यहाँ पर भी v dash is going to be most probably greater than nu if my angle theta 1 is obtuse. Okay, currently from the figure I can say that theta 1 is obtuse, so this is correct. Okay, but when theta 1 is obtuse, we'll see something else will happen. Okay, so अब क्या होता है, we observe this motion for quite some time. ठीक है, so ये source, I am observing the motion along this x-axis, ये कुछ x-axis है यहाँ पे. So अब क्या होगा, थोड़े टाइम बाद, let us say the source comes over here, and this is some position 2. So what is special about this position, that if I will draw a normal from B to this position, I'll see that okay, the source is actually यहाँ पे आ गए, it's making an angle of 90 degree. So then there is no component of the ये source का complete velocity जो है वो ये तो vs में ही जा रहा था, पर उसका कोई component भी I do not have. The component goes to 0. Vs cos of 90 is equal to 0. So at this point, when my source is at point 2, location 2 पर जब होगा, तो मेरे डिटेक्टर को लगेगा that the source is stationary because there is no velocity component directed towards my detector. So for that instant, only for that instant, when the source is at location 2, my detector will hear exactly the same frequency. Okay, so when source is at 2, location 2, detector ऐसे लिख देते हैं that Vs dash is actually going to equal to 0. So detector will feel that the source is stationary for that instant. Okay, so detector will feel that the source is stationary, it's not moving, and my nu dash will equal to nu at this moment. ठीक है, अब क्या होगा, because I'm observing it for a larger amount of time, so मैं और observe करती हूँ, and my source actually comes somewhere here, let us say some another position 3. जैसे जैसे time increase हो रहा है, source is moving further away. So अब क्या हो रहा है, let me again try to find out, let me join my detector and the source and try to see that what is the angle that I'm going to get here. So now if I say that, wait, which angle did I took? Okay, so this is some 90 degree, and I'm saying that this is some angle theta 2. Okay, so this theta 2 is also equal to this angle here, right? This is also theta 2 here. So now what is the frequency that my detector is going to see? Let us see when the source is at point C. So let us see that when source is at location 3, so Vs dash is equal to Vs cos of theta 2 plus 90, right? That is how I define. Let us look it back. So what is the angle? Basically, I want to find out this component of the velocity, that what is this component, but this thing is going like this. Vs is this vector on the x-axis, and I want to find out what's its component directed towards my detector. So then the angle between them is 90 plus theta 2. Okay, so this is actually equal to minus Vs क्या हो जाएगा, साइन ऑफ थीटा 2. हाँ, या cos of theta 2.
Sine of theta.
Sine of theta 2. So sine of theta 2 का मतलब क्या हो गया यहाँ पर? If I look at this figure, so theta angle, theta 2 एक ऊपर भी है, theta 2 एक नीचे भी है, ठीक है. So minus sine of theta 2 का मतलब क्या हुआ? Vs sine of theta 2 किस तरफ point करेगा? It's actually pointing like this. Can you see that? This is actually equal to minus Vs sine of theta 2. Minus matlab because it's pointing away. Minus sign simply means that it is pointing away. This is actually equal to Vs theta 2. Right? Because ye angle, ye wala jo angle hai, this is theta 2. So the component, no, this is not equal to that. Galat likh diya. कौन सा कॉम्पोनेंट होगा? दिस इज थीटा 2, सो दिस इज एक्चुअली वीएस कॉस ऑफ थीटा 2 ही होगा ना ये तो, बट माइनस होगा यहाँ पे, माइनस इन द सेंस इट्स गोइंग इन द ऑपोजिट डायरेक्शन। कुछ गड़बड़ कर दिया क्या मैंने? पता नहीं, मैंने नोट्स में कुछ और करा हुआ है एंड आई एम ट्राइंग टू एक्सप्लेन इन सम अदर वे।
मैम शायद वो VS sin थीटा 2 का सिर्फ होगा,
मैंने
मतलब
शायद
माइनस है।
एंगल गलत बनाया है, एक सेकेंड। आई हैव, yes, I have taken the angle wrong, sorry. You'll have to correct it in your copies. The way I defined angles in a different way, but in my जो formula मैंने लिखा है यहाँ पे, I have written something else. So उसमें I have defined this to be theta 2. Okay, so then this is theta 2. So then what is this angle in that case? This is 180 minus theta 2, right? This is then 180 minus theta 2. Is that okay now? This angle. So then यहाँ पर 90 नहीं है. This is 180. This is 180 plus theta 2. So then this will give me minus cos of theta 2. अब ठीक है? This is what I wanted to show. तो मैंने थीटा ही गलत लिख दिया था. Theta 2, I did not check my notes properly. So this is what I have written as theta 2. So now what this means is that basically I am, this is the actual direction. So what is this component? This component is equal to minus of Vs cos theta 2. So that means this is the Vs of cos theta 2. सिर्फ डायरेक्शन का फर्क है, मैग्नीट्यूड तो सेम ही रहेगा, ठीक है? सो माई डिटेक्टर विल एक्चुअली फील, जब मेरा सोर्स पॉइंट 3 पर होगा तो माई डिटेक्टर विल एक्चुअली फील दैट द सोर्स इज गोइंग अवे फ्रॉम, the source is moving away from it. Okay, so then we can write, so what this minus sign tells here is this tells me, minus sign, that the detector will feel that the source is moving away from it with this velocity Vs dash, is moving away from it with Vs dash velocity, ठीक है? So then I can write the apparent frequency nu dash को फिर I will write as क्या लिखा था पहले, उसमें
Moving
सिर्फ एक
towards
साइन,
the detector. Like if you can show the diagram.
नो दिस इज जो मैंने पिंक में ड्रॉ करा है ना, दैट उसका वैल्यू माइनस Vs cos of theta 2 है. सो इन रियलिटी इट इज गोइंग अवे. माइनस मीन्स इट्स गोइंग इन द अदर डायरेक्शन. So actually my detector is going to feel that it is going along this जो मैंने direction draw किया है with the blue color, the detector will feel it's actually going away because there is a minus sign. Okay, so detector will at this point, when the angle, this angle, ये वाला जो angle है, this one, when this angle will become obtuse, my detector will feel that the source is going away from it. Until this angle is acute, my detector will feel that the source is going towards it. And when this angle is exactly 90 degree, then the detector will feel for that instant that the source is at rest. Okay, so then I can write nu is equal to V divided by V plus Vs cos of theta 2 nu. And if my theta 2 is if I go extremely far away from the detector, let us say कि मैं S को और टाइम के लिए ऑब्जर्व करती हूँ और वो बहुत ही दूर चला जाता है, so in that case my this angle theta 2 जो है notice the angle theta 2 कौन सा है, okay? It's the angle here, not this angle. So this theta 2 will slowly decrease जैसे जैसे my source will move further away. जैसे अगर मेरा source कुछ यहाँ पे चला जाएगा, so then this angle, this theta 2 is going to become even smaller, right? So if my source moves sufficiently far away from the detector, then slowly this theta 2 will become very small, and cos of theta 2 in that sense will become equal to 1, okay? And we are back to the case where the detector were in the line of sight of each other, okay? And similarly यहाँ पर अगर theta 1 का value बहुत छोटा हो जाता है, it approaches 0, that means the source is very far away from the detector, although it's moving at an angle, but this angle is extremely small. So again, I'm back into the case where they were in the line of sight of each other, okay? So by how much amount they are out of the line of sight depends on this theta 1 and theta 2, depending ki kahan par hai motion mein. If this angle theta 1 is is basically this angle is, if this is some acute angle, the detector will feel that the source is coming towards me. And if the angle between the velocity of the source and this ds line, the line which is connecting the detector and the source, if this angle is some obtuse angle, then the detector will feel that the source is going away from it, okay? So in the same way, we can do the analysis where the detector is stationary. No, in which the detector is moving and the source is stationary. So same thing will happen. उसमें भी क्या होगा, when the detector, so in the above figure I can simply replace the detector को मैं source से replace कर सकती हूँ and source को detector से replace कर सकती हूँ. So the same analysis will be true for that also, okay? Only the formulas will be different, because जब source move होता है तो हमेशा denominator में velocities change होती हैं, it's v plus minus vs. but अगर detector move होता है तो numerator में v plus minus vd होता है, okay? So the formulas will almost be similar in the sense कि same तरह का behavior होगा जब मेरा source stationary है and detector approach कर रहा है मेरे source को. So this angle between the detector and the source is acute. So I will so my source will feel that the detector is coming towards it, and I'll use that formula. And then when they are at a 90-degree angle, the angle between the velocity of the detector and the source का जो line है, ds जो line है, उसके बीच में angle 90 हो जाएगा. तो again my source is going to feel that the detector is stationary, and it will observe, or maybe I'll just write it down.
In case 3, like what is the yeah, there are so many colors. So which is the final velocity in line with d? Is this vs cos theta 2 which is going away?
Actually, both the angles, both the directions shown in pink and blue, they correspond to the same quantity. जो pink में show किया, it's minus vs cos of theta 2. So if it is confusing for you, you can just remember that it is this direction, the direction shown in blue.
Yeah.
That is what the d is going to feel. Okay?
And in the case 1, it is this vs cos theta 1. In the case
Yes.
case 1.
So in case 1, it is vs cos theta 1 directed towards the detector, and in case 3, it is vs cos theta 2 directed away from the detector. So you can take the blue direction, okay?
ठीक है मैम. एक्चुअली वो साइन से बड़ा कंफ्यूजन हो रहा है कि माइनस vs cos theta 2 आया तो
हाँ, that is only like you have to interpret the minus sign in terms of the direction. So basically I have to reverse the direction to get the actual variation कि d को actually में feel क्या हो रहा है. So d will actually feel that the source is going away with the velocity vs cos theta 2 here, okay? So what is the time? I have one more. I have 7 minutes. So maybe I'll quickly write down this case for you so that you have something written with you. But I don't think I have to explain it so much, because the same thing will happen, only the slightly the formulas may, rather than the denominator, now the numerator will change. Okay, so now the detector is moving moving not in line with a stationary source. Okay, so now what I have is I have a source here which is stationary, and then let me take my detector here. So this is my detector at some location 1, the first location, and the detector is, the velocity of the detector is along the x axis, and let me say this is, या फिर कोई और कलर लेता हूँ. This is the direction of VD, the direction in which the detector is moving. So then again I can sort of connect the detector and the source, and I can define some angle θ1 here, and I can find out the component of the velocity of the detector in this direction. ds direction में क्या होगा component. So if I do that, this component, so this is going to be equal to VD cos of θ1, right? And similarly I can consider the case where my detector comes exactly here. This is some location 2. यहाँ पर the angle theta becomes 90 degree. Okay, so here my let me write the apparent velocity of detector. Okay, so this is observed by the source. Is some VD dash. Okay, so at location 1, VD dash is going to be equal to VD cos of θ1, and what is this? This is directed towards the source S. Okay, then location number 2, my VD dash is going to be equal to 0, because now cos of 90 is equal to 0. And then I can consider a third location somewhere here maybe. This is my location number 3. Again, I can sort of join them and say that this is some angle θ2. So now my detector is moving in this direction. This is some VD, and I want to find out that what is this component in this direction. Okay, so then I will see that this direction will this will come out to be equal to, again it will come out to be equal to, ये वाला angle क्या होगा, this angle is going to be equal to 180 minus θ2. Okay, so this will again come out to be equal to minus of VD cos θ2. So this means that my source will actually, rather than feeling it in this direction, my source is going to feel the actual my source is going to feel that the detector is moving away from it. तो actually ये मेरा source feel करेगा cos of θ2. Okay, so here at location 3, I will get VD dash is equal to VD cos of θ2, but directed away from S. So now I can write the formulas for all of these cases. So अगर मैं ये वाला case consider करूँ, so then I can write that nu dash is going to be equal to, it's directed towards the source, ठीक है? तो मेरा जो डिटेक्टर है सोर्स की तरफ जा रहा है, तो क्या होता था फॉर्मूला? I'll get V plus BD.
मैम माइनस वी डी cos थीटा 2 होएगा ना?
माइनस होता है क्या? मुझे खुद ही याद नहीं रहता. नहीं, प्लस होगा, बिकॉज इट्स मूविंग टूवर्ड्स डिटेक्टर और सोर्स. यहाँ पर सोर्स स्टेशनरी है, सिर्फ डिटेक्टर मूव कर रहा है. तो फर्स्ट केस स्टडी क्या था ना, हमने देखो फर्स्ट केस स्टडी क्या था, जिसमें डिटेक्टर वाज मूविंग इन द डायरेक्शन ऑफ द सोर्स. तो क्या आया था? अच्छा, माइनस आया था, तो मैंने माइनस ही आएगा फिर. सही करा मैंने, गलत करा?
मैम वो अवे फ्रॉम द सोर्स वाला केस में माइनस आना चाहिए.
क्या गलत कर दिया फिर? एक सेकेंड. अच्छा नहीं, सही तो कर रही हूँ मैं, खुद ही कंफ्यूज हो गई. सो द डिटेक्टर इज मूविंग टुवर्ड्स द सोर्स वाज दिस केस ना, तो वहाँ प्लस आता है. सॉरी, मैं इतने सारे फॉर्मूलाज लिख के मेरा ही दिमाग बैठ गया. सही कर रही हूँ मैं, जस्ट बाद में जाके देखना. बिकॉज हमने डिस्कस किया था ना कि अगर मेरा सोर्स स्टेशनरी है और डिटेक्टर सोर्स की तरफ जा रहा है, तो बेसिकली ज़्यादा वेव फ्रंट्स क्रॉस होंगे, है ना? तो इसलिए फ्रीक्वेंसी इंक्रीज्ड सुनाई देगा. यही तो डिस्कस किया था क्लास के स्टार्टिंग में, मैं कंफ्यूज हो गई थी, सॉरी. सो आई विल गेट V प्लस वी डी कॉस थीटा 1 डिवाइडेड बाय V एंड न्यू. दिस इज व्हाट आई विल गेट. मतलब आफ्टर द क्लास जस्ट लुक कि फर्स्ट केस क्या किया था, दैट वाज दिस केस, ओके. And for this second location जहाँ पर VD dash is equal to 0, I will see that nu dash is equal to nu. And for the third case, this one, I will see that nu dash is equal to V minus VD cos of theta 1 divided by V nu. This is what I should get. Oof. Okay. उसके बाद में एक लास्ट केस भी है, वैसे उसकी इतनी ज़रूरत नहीं है, बिकॉज उसमें क्या होगा, बोथ योर डिटेक्टर एंड सोर्स आर मूविंग. सो एनीवे यू कैन कंबाइन दीज फॉर्मूलाज. कौन सा नंबर चल रहा था फॉर्मूला में?
मैम लास्ट वाला केस में थीटा 1 होगा या थीटा 2 होगा?
थीटा 1 लिख दिया क्या मैंने? थीटा 2 होगा. सॉरी, दिस इज थीटा 2 बिकॉज वेलोसिटी में 2 है ना. ठीक है, थैंक यू. Which equation was I? This was equation 8, so then I can say this is equation 9. Okay, then इसको तो नंबर करने का फायदा है कुछ? ठीक है, कर लेते फिर लास्ट केस भी एक. जस्ट I don't think so you will require it per se, but it's like a most general case. So the last case is in which both the source and the detector are moving in some arbitrary, making some arbitrary angles with each other. मतलब दोनों के दोनों किसी random directions में जा रहे हैं, ठीक है. So जैसे इसमें क्या था, one was stationary and the other was moving, ठीक है. But now both of them are moving and they are, उनका जो velocities है, they are pointing in some arbitrary direction. So that is the last case. This is B, and then I'll stop the class. Okay, इसके questions we'll do in the next class because आज time नहीं है. और so last case is that I have the source and detector या फिर observer, both are moving in any arbitrary direction but the condition is that the velocities are in a plane. Both the velocities are in a plane. So they are not moving in such a way कि I'm not considering the z axis in a way. Okay. So उनका जो भी velocities है, अगर जैसे source ऐसे जा रहा है और मेरा detector ऐसे जा रहा है, so the velocities are still contained in a xy plane. I'm not considering a 3D vector. Okay. So I'm only considering the case where the velocities still lie in a plane. And now I want to find out कि क्या फ्रीक्वेंसी मिलेगा मुझे. इस तरह का क्वेश्चन वैसे आएगा नहीं, बट जस्ट टू सेक ऑफ कंप्लीशन ऑफ द टॉपिक क्विकली इसको देख सकते हैं. मोस्टली तो यू शुड कॉन्सेंट्रेट ऑन वट एवर वी हैव डिस्कस सो फार. क्वेश्चंस तो उसी पर आते हैं, बट दिस इज जस्ट लाइक व्हेन यू आर डिस्कसिंग समथिंग, तो ये इसको क्यों छोड़ो, है ना, उस तरह से. लेट अस डू दिस. So what it is saying is that I have some source, let us say here, and I am saying that the source is sort of is moving somewhere here with this velocity vs. Okay. I have taken now I'll choose my detector. Let us say my detector is somewhere here. But my detector is moving like this. कुछ ज़्यादा ही टेढ़ा बना दिया. Let us say the detector is moving like this. So detector का जो velocity है Vd, it is like this. So इसमें भी multiple cases हो सकते हैं. But if somehow the locations of the source and detector are given to us, then for that particular instant we can find out कि what is going to be the frequency. Okay. So the way to do it is the same, that I will first connect the source and the detector. Okay. So now I can define one angle. This is some θ1 angle, which this line sort of ds line is making with respect to my vs जो velocity of source है उसके साथ what is this angle I can find out. And I can find out another angle because I can extend this line, no? This is I can extend it in space. So whatever this extended line is making with respect to the velocity vector for the D detector, उसके लिए भी I can find out this some angle θ2. Okay. तो अब लेट अस सी कि डिटेक्टर को क्या फील होगा. ठीक है. सो लेट अस ट्राई टू सी कि व्हाट द डिटेक्टर इज फीलिंग. सो जैसे पहले किया था, डिटेक्टर को क्या फील होगा, दैट द सोर्स इज कमिंग टूवर्ड्स इट. The detector will feel that the source is coming towards it with a velocity Vs cos of θ1. This we know. Currently, if I forget that the detector is moving, या फिर I freeze them in time, so at a particular instant of time, my detector will feel that the source is coming towards me with this velocity. Okay. But now, at the what have I written? हाँ, but now what the source will feel? Source को क्या लग रहा है कि डिटेक्टर कहाँ जा रहा है ना? So क्या लिखा है मैंने? So if I consider, so अब क्या है मुझे मतलब I'll have to consider that I will only consider the motion along this axis. मतलब whatever is happening along SD only. ठीक है. I am not worried about because I've frozen them at an instant of time. So now I just want to find out what is happening at that time, because at some other time they would have moved somewhere else. And ये θ1 and θ2 का कुछ और वैल्यू आ जाएगा. ठीक है. as maybe D comes to some other place here maybe, and a source come to some other place, so maybe something else I'll get, but I have sort of frozen them and I just want to see. So now if my D is observing that at this instant मेरे detector को लग रहा है that the source is coming towards it at a velocity Vs cos of θ1, तो मेरे सोर्स को लग रहा है कि जो डिटेक्टर है वो इस वेलोसिटी से उससे दूर जा रहा है. So my source is going to feel that the detector is going away with a velocity vd cos theta 2 from it. So this is the case where the detector is feeling that the source is coming towards me, but the source is feeling that the detector is going away from me. So then for this particular जो भी मैंने अभी डायग्राम बनाया है, for this particular case I can write the formulas. But अब इनका position कुछ भी हो सकता है space में, ठीक है? Their vectors can be oriented in any direction. So I cannot really prescribe a formula like that. इसलिए मैं बोल रही हूँ इस तरह का question नहीं आएगा, because these are a little bit like थोड़ा ज़्यादा ही डिफ़िकल्ट नहीं, अ लिटिल बिट टाइम कंज्यूमिंग हो जाता है बनाने के लिए भी और देने के लिए भी. बट लाइक एट दैट इंस्टेंट व्हाट इज़ गोइंग टू हैपन व्हेन आई विल राइट, so I can basically write here that my detector will feel that source is coming towards it with velocity Vs dash is equal to Vs cos of theta 1, and my source will feel that the detector is going away from it with velocity Vd dash is equal to Vd cos of theta 2. Okay, so then for this particular case I can say that the frequency I'm going to get is, because detector को क्या feel हो रहा है that the source is coming, नहीं पहले source का लिख लेते हैं. Source को feel हो रहा है that the detector is going away. So in that case क्या होता है, I will have V minus Vd cos of theta 2. ये होता है ना when the detector is going away from the source and the source is stationary, detector is going away. This is how we write, divided by V होता है ना. But if I consider from the detector point of view, the source is coming towards it. So if the source is coming towards, तो वो होता है V minus Vs cos of theta 1. So this is how I'll find out the frequency. But this is a very general case. Mostly you don't have to worry about these kind of questions. But what you should worry about is the formulas we wrote before this. क्योंकि उस पे questions आते हैं, तो that part should be extremely clear to you, that how at an angle पे अगर some question comes, so either one of them will be given stationary, और अदरवाइज यू विल गेट सिंपल, मतलब जैम में तो बहुत मुश्किल सवाल नहीं आएंगे डॉपलर के. तो मोस्टली ये फोर्थ केस जो हमने स्टडी किया, सोर्स और डिटेक्टर मूविंग एट एन एंगल, उसका क्वेश्चन भी आने के चांसेस कम ही होते हैं. बट यू शुड नो दैट एटलीस्ट द 2 केसेस इन विच द डिटेक्टर इज स्टेशनरी और द सोर्स इज स्टेशनरी, ठीक है. बट अपार्ट फ्रॉम दैट इक्वेशन नंबर 9 तक जो भी पढ़ा वो तो बहुत क्लियर होना चाहिए, दैट हाउ विल यू इनकॉर्पोरेट द मोशन, the relative motion of either observer or the medium or the source or all of them or different combinations of these, ठीक है. So at least this much, ये जो equation 8 है यहाँ से कैसे interpret करना है different cases को, वो clear होना चाहिए. So just revise your notes once before coming to the next class, so that when we do the questions, so things are a little bit clear and you can use the formulas, or either write the formulas on a sheet of paper, or if you are maintaining a notebook, so you can always go back and refer. But if you are not maintaining a notebook, so I'll first of all get angry, make a notebook, and otherwise write these formulas on a sheet of paper and bring that sheet of paper with you in the next class, so that when we solve the questions you can refer to the formulas if you have not memorized them by then. And also take out some time and look at the video which I sent. So ये थोड़ा ज़्यादा clear हो जाएगा कि actual real life में sound में frequency change कैसे दिखता है. And वो video मैंने इसलिए भी share किया था because that also they also did a sort of analysis of the frequencies that were present in that sound wave. तो they actually told कि they measured कि ठीक है this ये frequency अगर 500 hertz था तो when the car was moving towards my detector and कार का horn basically बजाया था and this horn जैसे जैसे वो ऑब्जर्वर के पास आ रहा था तो क्या फ्रीक्वेंसी चेंज हुआ था और जब कार आगे चली गई थी तो क्या हुआ था, ठीक है. सो जस्ट सी दैट वीडियो, इट विल मेक इट अ लिटिल बिट मोर क्लियर. So I'll stop the class now. Already 15 minute extend हो गया है. So good night and I'll see you in the next class, which I think is on Wednesday. I don't remember. Okay. So bye bye. Good night.
Good night,
Good night.
ma'am.